All right, today we're going to pull back the curtain on Docker Compose. We'll show you how to go from the absolute chaos of managing multi-container applications to taming it all with just a single elegant command. Okay, let's jump right in.
Does this feel a little too familiar? You've got your web app spinning in one container, your database chugging along in another, maybe a cache server in a third, and you're just trying to keep all those balls in the air. It really can feel like a juggling act, can't it?
And when you're trying to manage all this by hand with a bunch of separate Docker run commands, oh man, it is a mess. You mistype one tiny port mapping, and boom, your front end can't talk to your back end. Then a new person joins the team, and they spend half their day just trying to debug an environment that looks nothing like yours. This is the exact kind of headache we're here to solve.
So let's go ahead and give this problem an official name, the multi-container mess. This is the reality for so many modern applications, and it's the perfect stage for our hero to enter.
And here it is, Docker Compose. Put simply, it's a tool that takes your entire complex multi-container setup and lets you manage it from one single configuration file. It's all about bringing beautiful, predictable order to that chaos. So, how does it actually work? Well, let's take a look at the very heart of Docker Compose, which I like to call the application blueprint. And that entire blueprint, it's just this one file called docker-compose.yml. Seriously, that's it. Think of it as the complete recipe for your application. Every ingredient, every instruction needed to get it running is right here. So what's inside this file? Well, the most important thing you define are services. And a service is really just one piece of your application. So you'll have a service for your web app, a service for your database, and so on. Each service runs in its own container. Let's actually build one out right now. Here's our web application service, which we'll just call app. First, we tell Compose what Docker image to use. That's kind of like the template for the container. Then we map the ports, which connects the container to our machine so we can actually see our app in a web browser. And just like that, we can add another service for our database. We'll call it DB, we tell it to use a standard Postgres image, and, this is really important, we set the password using an environment variable. This keeps our sensitive info out of the main file. And there we go. Our blueprint now describes both a web app and a database. Okay, so we've written the blueprint, we've defined all the pieces. Now we get to the payoff. This is where all that configuration work boils down to something incredibly simple. Check this out. This is pretty much the entire workflow. You write that YAML file once, then you run Docker Compose up, and the whole application comes to life. The web server, the database, the whole shebang. And when you're done for the day, Docker Compose down just tears it all down nice and clean. I mean, this really is the magic of Docker Compose, isn't it? One command, one file, and your entire development environment is up and running, perfectly configured every single time. It's beautiful. Okay, so we can bring the app up and down, that's great, but how do all the pieces actually talk to each other? Let's look at the magic that's happening behind the scenes to make this whole thing work so smoothly. Okay, this part right here is a total game changer. By default, Docker Compose puts all of your services on the same private network. You know what that means? It means your app container can find your database just by using the service name, DB, in its connection string. No more hunting down IP addresses. It's like they're all plugged into the same router. It just works. Now, for anything that needs to remember stuff, like a database, this is absolutely critical. It's called data persistence. See, without a volume, if you stop your database container, poof, all your data vanishes. It's gone. But by defining a volume, you're telling Docker, hey, save the data from this container in a safe place on my computer so it survives restarts, upgrades, you name it. So what happens if your app starts up before the database is ready to accept connections? It's probably going to crash, right? Well, that is what depends on is for. It's you telling your app, hey, don't even try to start until the database container is up and running. You just tell your app service it depends on the DB service, and Compose handles the rest. Okay, you've totally got the fundamentals now, but where does this amazing tool actually fit into a professional developer's workflow? Let's see how it's used out there in the real world. A lot of people ask, so should I be using Docker Compose or Kubernetes? And the real answer is, they solve different problems. Think of Docker Compose as your absolute master tool for development and testing on your own machine. It's simple, it's fast. Kubernetes is the big one. It's designed to run and orchestrate those apps at a massive scale, in production, across a whole cluster of servers.
Now, if you want to use Compose like a pro, here are a few best practices to keep in mind. Try to keep your containers focused on one main job. It makes them so much easier to debug. For things like passwords and API keys, use .env files to keep them separate and secure. Always use named volumes for your important data. And of course, treat your docker-compose.yml file just like your other code. Check it in to version control.
And on the flip side, here are some things you definitely want to avoid. Never ever put passwords or secrets directly in your Compose file. That's what those .env files are for. And be careful with using the latest tag on your images. That tag can change without warning and suddenly break your build. We already talked about how crucial volumes are for databases. And finally, just remember, Compose is for development, not for running a giant production cluster.
Let's end with this one key takeaway, because it's so important. Docker Compose isn't just some convenient little tool. It's a fundamental building block. Mastering this gives you an incredible foundation for understanding how multi-service applications work, and it's an essential skill on the path to bigger systems like Kubernetes. So, there you have it. We went from a tangled web of manual commands to a clean, repeatable, single-command workflow. You now have the blueprint to define and run surprisingly complex applications with incredible ease. The only question left is, what are you going to build?